actually, my parents moved to the Eastern Shore of Maryland in 1946 and started with a small farm that grew primarily chickens and some vegetables. And over the years, we transitioned into growing more grain crops such as corn and soybeans and wheat. And then I was at the University of Maryland, and I had I met some people there that grow turfgrass sod, and was exposed to it and thought that it would be a good product for our farm. And this is when the prices for the corn and soybeans were very low, and we saw it and development was strong, so we saw it as a good way to diversify our operation. And
when I was in elementary school, my dad forgot he was supposed to pick me up, and so when my mom reminded him, he came and picked me up from school. But my mom didn't realize he was on a tractor because he had forgotten me, so I had to ride home from school on an open tractor. Thankfully, it was in spring and it was cool, it was nice weather, not winter, but my mom, she really was not expecting that.
How do we harvest sod? We have several machines that are good at this. One of them is mounted on a tractor where the blade actually cuts the side and underneath the sod and cuts it for length, and then it comes up a conveyor belt, at which point men manually handle it and put it on a wooden pallet, and then once the proper quantity is reached, the pallet is lowered to the ground and the tractor pulls away and they load another pallet onto it. We have a robotic stacker that cuts it, rolls it up in a small roll, and then almost like a robotic arm lifts it and puts it on the wooden pallet. I mean, I grew up on the farm, and I thought I wanted to be a landscape architect and move off the farm, and it was after I went away to college that I realized how much I enjoyed being on the farm, how like every day is different, and that the combination of working physically with my hands and then also mentally to try to have a successful business, that was something that I actually enjoyed, and that's when I decided to come back. But I mean, it's a lifestyle that I think if you haven't grown up with it, you might not understand it as much, but having grown up with it, it was something that I was very comfortable with.
Yes, I believe that growing up on a farm definitely steered me into looking at jobs that are related to grass. I knew I wanted to do something with grass, and I always thought it'd be cool to be a farmer when I was really little. But as I grew up, I like the farm life, but I really don't want to live on a farm.
I don't feel as strongly about wanting to stay in the sod business. I definitely think it's influenced my life and where I am right now, but I don't see myself so much working on the farm.
I do. I feel like the children see me working and can ask questions, and they see exactly what is being done to create wealth, and then if they can if they have any questions, it's right there, easy to see, and creates a lot of open discussion.
If I have off from school, I can just hop on my bike or take a quick jog down and see my parents, if I need something done, as far as homework wise and I need help, or if I just want to see my dad and if he wants something, I can just ride my bike to him. It's just a lot more open, and if I have a problem, he can come home for about 5 minutes and help me with it and then go back. Whereas if my dad worked in a cubicle office, it wouldn't work that way.
When Sarah and Amy were growing up, since they were involved in the farm, they knew exactly what their parents did. It might have been kind of hard to describe since their dad did so many different things.
I find it quite enjoyable that knowing that some days I'm going to be working long hours, and then other days are less hectic, and there's time to do things. But every day is different versus working at a job at a factory where you're pretty much building the same thing day in and day out. And then working for yourself, there's a great satisfaction in knowing that the work that you do is rewarding.
I think that they work a lot, but I don't think they work all the time. Obviously, they sleep at night for at least 6 hours, but they are often working right before bed and are often woken up because of work.
We are pretty much involved 24/7. That we can be preparing dinner and talking about something that happened during the day, or something that needs to happen tomorrow, or I can be watching the TV and it'll trigger a thought to how we might do something better. I mean, it started out that I was very hands-on, and I was involved in driving the tractors for harvesting and loading. And while I still do some of that, my job more is to plan the projects so that all our employees have something to do, and then also the long-range planning, that how much inventory to carry, if we need a new product to diversify.
I sometimes get to move irrigation with my family because some of the irrigation is on the ground, and so we have to move the pipes instead of just turning on a little button and it runs around the field. And also when I get off from school, like during spring break and in the summer, I also get to use the tractor sometimes in the field on jobs that aren't too important. And I also get to work in the office with my mom, entering payroll or counting money for checks and entering invoices sometimes when not all the employees are there.
I definitely spent a little bit more time wanting to do things with my friends, I feel like, than she does.
Not really, because I don't really have that big of a social life, and I don't really get invited to do that many things, so I don't really think that they hinder me in any way.
Hopefully they have a better understanding of how of what's involved, so that if I'm not home, they understand that there's maybe they understand why.